Hello there, perfectionists. My name is Delampo, and today on News for Noobs, we've got the makers of the Batman Arkham games looking for new hires, Fortnite hitting the board game scene, and the Nintendo Switch cloud save scandal. All of this and more coming up. Welcome, one and all, to News for Noobs, where we strive to keep you caught up with everything in the video game wilderness as efficiently as possible. We've got quite the batch of awesome stories, so let's get started. First off, it seems as though superhero content isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The makers of the popular Batman Arkham Asylum are currently looking for a plethora of people to join them in making their next game. In their words, they describe it as an upcoming AAA title for the next generation of platforms. This would mean the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, and perhaps the Atari box. I don't know what's going on with that thing. What should be noted, however, before you go hunting through this, is that some of the positions are only for 2 years, the assumed amount of time needed to develop this title. It may be a good idea also to brush up on some comic book knowledge, as this is one of the requirements for a few of the job positions. What I think is really awesome about this is the idea that the DC Universe might be getting some more love in the video game space. It's been rumored that this game is going to be a Superman title, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know about that. I mean, Superman is literally the ex machina of all Justice League content, so I don't know if this would be a good fit for a game. I mean, I love Superman. He's actually my favorite superhero outside of Captain Marvel, aka the Big Cheese, aka Shazam. Yes, I'm talking about DC's Captain Marvel. But yeah, I mean, the last time we got a Superman game, it didn't turn out too well. So many rings. In my opinion, I think a Teen Titans game would be much more fitting. Hell, I'd even take a game based on The Flash as more of a probability. It might be actually really cool to see how those teraflops handle that kind of workload. No matter what, I can tell that this game is going to be a game to look out for. Next up, it seems as though we as consumers tend to get what we pay for, and in doing so, it can be said to temper our expectations. However, I can't say that this means that anything offered for a low price should be constructed with that expectation in mind. This is not how value works. The implication of value is the idea that the consumer, you and I, would feel as though the product we paid a certain amount for is worth either as much or more than we paid. And this is where the divide on the Nintendo Switch Online service is sprouting. Nintendo recently made a statement to Game Informer that explained that certain games would not support cloud save backups. What games? Well, there are no slouches on this list. Games like Splatoon 2, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Dark Souls, just to name a few. NBA 2K19 is also listed, however 2K provides its own servers for that, so the cloud saves will be handled on that level. So you must be asking, well, Delapo, why won't these games be covered, man? Well, according to Nintendo, it's so that these games remain fair across the board. They noted that with backup saves, certain multiplayer games would have members reverting to a higher online multiplayer ranking or getting back items that they've already traded away. And I can honestly say this is a very, very poor excuse that holds a slight amount of merit. Like the smallest amount, like molecules in between my fingers. The biggest problem being that the other two platform holders don't offer such restrictions. Like, they've never made excuses about that. What's more, I understand why duplicating Pokemon might be harmful in a way, but as a whole, I don't think the community really cares. There have always been methods of duplicating Pokemon that people in the Pokemon community have always used. Also, I don't see people getting super competitive about Let's Go. Like, I just don't think it has the competitive appeal, like, at all. Splatoon is a whole nother beast, and there's been some cheating situations there as well. I can understand why they'd want to keep cheating to as low a level as possible in that game, but I don't think the other games should have to suffer because of it. At this point, the free games that come with the service had better evolve over time because as it stands right now, I don't know that a lot of people are going to be happy with the offerings that are there. I think that once it gets like N64 and Game Boy Advance games, then people will really start to see the value. A lot of people are picking up the service simply because they're worried about their saves, and with no way to physically back up the console, it feels as though it's getting riskier and riskier to own these. I don't know. Did you ever want to sneak into Shadow Moses Island, invade a private military base, or maybe you just wanted to crawl around in a box? Well, here's a number for a really good therapist. Oh, that's like a thing? Oh, okay. Well, you're in luck. because starting September 12th in Shinjuku, Japan, you'll be able to experience a real-life Metal Gear infiltration game. Just like in the video game, your objective is to sneak into the enemy base to destroy Metal Gear, which is still a really bad name for a mech. During your infiltration, real human guards will be posted around the base with weapons of their own. Before the mission starts, you will be handed a special stealth suit and codec, which is a vest and tablet. The vest works as a hit marker. When the guards spot you, they will shoot you. But getting shot doesn't mean that it's game over. Your time simply just gets cut short. So try your best to avoid contact. However, if you manage to find a weapon in the area, you can actually hold up a guard if that's what you choose to do. And what real-life Metal Gear infiltration game would be complete without cardboard boxes? That's right, not only do you get to sneak around the guards, but if you manage to find a box, you can actually use that to complete your mission. This role-playing game lasts roughly 15 to 45 minutes long. It all depends on how quickly you go through the objectives, and it can be played either by yourself or with a group of your friends. And don't worry if you think that other people getting shot will reduce your time, because everyone that plays the game has their own timer. Who knows though, if this goes well, we might see something like this make its way over here. I'd be totally down for that. Sounds like laser tag, but for like professionals, you know? I like the idea. I mean, any Metal Gear related stuff that isn't Metal Gear Survive is kind of a godsend. If you haven't been living under a rock, then you've probably heard of a game called Fortnite. And if you have been living under a rock, then I'm sorry. Times are tough. The housing market is so bad right now. Like, seriously, it's really bad. Well, it can be safe to say that Fortnite has become a bit of a cultural icon at this point, and when you become something like that, you get your own version of Monopoly. It just happens. And if you ever played Monopoly, then I'm sure you don't have any friends left anyways, so. Lucky for you, you can experience all of that joy all over again with the newest edition of Monopoly Family. That's right, kids. Monopoly Fortnite Edition is going to be a real thing. But here's the kicker. The game is going to play more like a battle royale than your traditional Monopoly. Property spaces are appropriately rebranded with popular Fortnite locations, such as Lazy Links and Tomato Town. However, this game will operate on a first-come, first-served basis instead of having to pay for them. Money is going to be changed into health points, and you'll be able to shoot players that are on the same side of the board as you. You'll also be able to build walls to defend yourself, much like in the real thing, the real game, the real video game. There are going to be items like boogie bombs and bandages, so, I mean, what more could you want from a not-so-Monopoly game? The release date was confirmed by Epic Games creative director Donald Mustard on Twitter, stating that the game will be in stores on October 1st. We've been seeing more and more Fortnite crossovers, and whether this is good or bad is actually up to personal taste. I actually don't mind it. Some of the things I actually am starting to like. I actually found the Fortnite cart in Mario Kart a lot less jarring than the Mercedes promotion. Like seriously, what was that? That was really weird. Although, I mean, there is something oddly therapeutic about seeing Waluigi in a real-life luxury car. We all have our quirks. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking around with the new format change. If you enjoyed what I have for you today, feel free to subscribe. And make sure to let me know how these stories made you feel in the comments below. As we all know, algorithms are what they are because YouTube values a certain type of video, and it is what it is. But I won't be stopped from bringing you the content that you deserve and the video game news that you deserve. I just won't be able to do it as quickly, you know. Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much again, and stay perfect.
So it looks like summer's here and it's gonna be hot, hot, hot. So we're here to keep you looking cool. Our online merch store has a myriad of designs to suit you or anyone you're shopping for. With new designs every month, there's always something to look forward to. So remember, stay cool, stay real, and stay perfect.